Hey everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Let's Get Cinematic. This is a movie podcast, and every week we discuss every episode we discuss a different movie. We just had a bunch of technical difficulties, but I think everything's going good now. And this week we are talking about Spirit Animal, and I'm joined by Jason Hester and Madeline Deering, who actually directed Spirit Animal.
Yes.
And
Thank you
then
for having me.
how is everybody doing?
Great.
Pretty good. I need some volume after the technical difficulties.
You just need some Mad Elf like I have.
I'm on my second rum and coke.
Only second?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, Jason. I don't think you've seen very many SOV movies. So how did you?
No.
What did you think of this?
I really liked it. There was a lot of things I ended up liking. I was definitely some questions curious to ask Madeline about her film, but yeah, I really liked it.
I'm glad. Put a lot of heart and soul into this movie. Which I'm sure you could tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Joseph Ruscio, I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yes.
He did a lot on this.
He did a lot. Yeah. He was our cinematographer. He edited it. I edited a few scenes, but not much. He was the main editor on it, and he did a lot of the pretty much all the special effects.
And he acted in
running
it.
the camera. Yeah, he played Ralph.
Yeah.
So he acted him. That was be another actor, and didn't work out. So I was like, Joe, you want to be in this movie? He was like, yeah, why not? Joe's one of the most talented people I've met in my entire life. So
yeah, I think he's actually really good in the movie.
yeah, Joe's awesome.
Did it just kick me out?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was just whatever. So, because yeah, Joe's just incredible, and he's done some movies since then, and I met him in film school, and I brought him on board with this movie. I was just like, hey, I want to do a shot on video slasher movies and script. He was like, yeah, let's do it, and it just became so much more. Because he also, for anyone who's seen the movie, he made the Tree of Life, which was voiced by Toby Radloff, one of my personal heroes. So that was super amazing. But he made the tree out of cardboard, and he put cigarette ashes, whatever on it, and made it look amazing. Joe's an incredible human. And I couldn't have done the movie without him. He did all the special effects, like I said, so really awesome.
Yeah, the special effects look great in the movie.
Thank you. All practical. We didn't know, obviously we didn't know CGI or anything. Everything was practical.
Right.
Near the end with the Tree of Life, it was like reverse footage with like the tree branches wrapping around her and stuff. It was, yeah, we had a lot of fun with it, and it was all practical stuff.
Yeah, the brain scene was awesome.
That was something Joe actually shot on his own, and he was just like, hey, can I do this? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I wasn't even there. It wasn't even my idea. So, and I think Joe's credited as a co-writer because he came up with a lot of the ideas. But yeah, the brain stuff, he just shot that all on his own with a base. Really cool.
Oh, both parts of the brain in it?
Yeah. So, he shot all of that, and fantastic. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, yes.
Hey, so the squirrel scene on the tree, was that just for environmental purposes, or were you trying to symbolize even more of the squirrel spirit animal?
A little bit of both. I think again, Joe, my cinematographer, he just shot some squirrel stuff, and he was like, oh, hey, I got this stuff, whatever. And there's already a lot of talk about squirrels in the movie. Our main actress, Jennifer Louise. I don't even remember if it was in the script or not, but she was talking about, those goddamn squirrels. So, it was later that Joe shot that stuff in the cemetery and shot some squirrels in a tree doing whatever, and a little bit of both. It was fun to have sorry. It was fun to have some actual footage of the creatures in the tree and whatever. Because, yeah, in the script there was stuff about squirrels, but we never really did much with it, so. Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, the voice of the killer was all Joe also, wasn't it?
Yes. And actually, if anyone here is a fan of Nail Gun Massacre, I told Joe when I showed Joe Nail Gun Massacre, and I was like, this is what I want the voice of the killer to sound like. Like, a killer with an echo.
I still need to watch Nail Gun Massacre.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's not good, but it's just so good. It's one of those movies. So
yeah,
that was a huge inspiration for this movie. Actually, I think a lot of people would be surprised, but like the puns and the echo. But that's where I wanted the echo. So I made Joe watch Nail Gun Massacre before we did that, and then I think while I was at work one day, he just like heard his voiceover, and it was like we had an echo, and I was like, all right, cool. So, but yeah, he's fantastic, obviously. But his voice of the killer with the echo, he did a lot of that. He came up with some of the lines like go vegan and you'll be bleeding or whatever during the movie. So, yeah, fantastic.
We did a good job of matching up the voiceover with the hand movements, the body physical movements too.
Yeah. Well, most of the scenes, the killer wasn't moving his mouth, except for some of the ones that he just put his hand on like the cow's mouth and voiced it. But yeah, that was the only scenes we really did that for. So the rest, we just kind of voiced it and whatever.
Yeah, and I think
a lot of. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I felt like there was a lot of underlining themes of identity throughout the movie, kind of like a unique sense of oneself. And did you pick out the mask, or was it just at random? Because each mask is an animal, and each spirit animal had a different representation. Like the shark is strong, challenging, doesn't need to evolve. It's protecting. And it's perfect. You know, a great white shark is perfect in its sense and never had to evolve. Um, and then you know, certain of the spirit animals is to guide and protect. I know that the cow? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the cow is more like a motherhood and mythical, and then the shepherd is basically power, can do anything. So I didn't know if that was a correlation to picking out those masks to carry on the actual spirit animal.
Well, the funny thing is, like, especially the cow, that was something we added in later. So I had these, friends I've been friends with since high school. And I always wanted to add a scene where, you know, the cow would have a meat cleaver and kill the people who were eating meat. I'm not a vegetarian. Whatever. At all. So, but I thought it would be funny. And so I brought them aboard. So that scene wasn't in the original script. It was added on. So, we had a guy in a cow mask with a meat cleaver. That was actually, we shot it 2 times. Because the first time I fucked up. And, didn't shoot it right. Because I didn't have my amazing cinematographer. But, whatever. But, second time we shot it, it was super fun. And I love that scene. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it felt like it had like a pro vegan kind of theme there, or like in pro environment.
Yeah, because I do care about the environment, and like, I don't think the theme of the movie comes off too strong.
No.
I mean, I hope it just comes off as, hey, whatever. But that scene was just fun to shoot, because I was with old high school friends, and we were just having fun making a movie. God, dropped my phone again. I'm sorry, guys.
On a roller coaster for a minute.
So we had fun shooting that scene. And, whatever. But some of the other stuff, fuck the environment. So what really inspired me to make this movie, and I want to do a slasher movie. So I didn't know what's the Curtis masks, whatever. And then my, friend who was an old coworker of mine, Mark Deegan, shout out. He was talking about how all these, whatever extremists were saying straws, no good, whatever. And I don't know, something came about it where you're using straws, you're eroding the environment, and, we get all these paper straws, that's fine. But, yeah, that's kind of what started it. He was the one who, like, said, hey, all these environmentalists are against us. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you were pushing some kind of Al Gore strong.
I'm not trying to. I do care about the environment, and that's kind of a point, but also, I'm kind of making fun of the extremists.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, if you do this, fuck you.
I'm all about saving the environment and animals.
Yeah.
I would rather have an animal than a person. They tend not to backstab you. They love you unconditionally. I feel like the human race could learn a lot by paying attention to dogs and their animals.
Yeah,
it's
for
how
sure.
we like to put our species as a superiority over them. But yet, there's a lot we can learn from them that we just people and respecting each other don't have. So I definitely love that in there. The animals were more kind. And I did like that whole, happening theme going on there of resetting the balance, I would say, with nature and man.
Yeah.
Is he's going and killing them, and just killing them wouldn't stop there. And I like the fact that even though they kill him in a sense, he said, "Well, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than me. There's many of us out there. You just hardly know." So this thing doesn't just conclude; it continues to go on.
Yeah, because there's other people who are on his side. Yeah, and like again with like the environmental stuff, you can agree, disagree, whatever, but people got to do what they got to do. But you have to try to respect what's out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got the great boom of technology, but we as human species have lost touch with Earth, animals. I feel like that we're just a big symbiote circle connected to the grass, to everything. I know that sounds kind of like commune hippie or something, but
no, 100%.
I think it's
when I was talking about, I wanted a quote for the beginning of the movie, and I mean, I honestly can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like, to be, one part of nature, to whatever, be a part of it is better than whatever. I don't even know.
Oh, you want the quote at the beginning?
Yeah. That was important to me. I know I have a quote at the beginning of every movie. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's important.
Yeah.
To know that this movie came from a place of caring about, even though it's kind of parodying, again, people who are so extreme about the environment, I still do care about it. And it's kind of a scary thing to think, wow, could this be the last generation of people who actually cared about anything before we, whatever? God, I've had too much. This Mad Elf. Getting first. But yes, I do care about the environment, and do I recycle all the time? No, because the place I live in doesn't recycle all the time, but I would if I could.
Yeah, I can.
So
Yeah, I definitely like the quote at the beginning that just kind of set the tone because I had no idea, I haven't seen any of your films, etc. So
thank you.
Kind of like,
I have a lot of environmental films. This one and Trash Removal is another environmental one, which is a spiritual sequel to Spirit.
Yeah. Trash Removal. Yeah, Trash Removal is like it's a segment of an anthology film that is like it was the fourth movie in that anthology series.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was the third before Topless Tory or whatever, but either way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that, and it was another one. I don't know why my movies always come up as, like, trash and whatever. It's just like, you see so much of people just doing whatever they want, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
We do have environments to care about.
Yeah,
and I know I'm not any better than a lot of people, but you're just scary. Not to get too personal. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with Spirit Animal being an environmental horror movie, which I didn't even really mean for it to be that much in the first place. But as everything went on, and then when I did Trash Removal, and yeah.
That was a great original idea because it's not like an ex stalking her that gets revealed at the end, or a kind of typical, you know, Dario Argento reveal at the end, trying to figure out who it is and having these ideas.
Yeah.
So felt like it was a great original idea to
Thank you.
incorporate that with a slasher.
Because, so I think when I was trying to come up with a slasher idea, I was trying to think, what would their mask be? What would, their motive, whatever be? And I was like, what if they had, like, different identities? And I think that's what really drew me to having them have different animal masks or whatever. Because, yeah, they have different identities, and I hadn't seen it really done before. I can't think of any of those slasher movies that had
Like multiple
slashers that
masks.
had different. Yeah, yeah, I can't think of too many, if any. Uh so the multiple mask thing, and I get them all off Amazon. I won't lie, except for I did get the Freaky Willy mask. That was a frog mask from Amazon. And, our effects artist, Joseph Ruscio, also sent my tug for literally everything that I didn't do. He painted it, added teeth, everything. And God, that fucking whale mask is terrifying.
Yeah, that's one of the best standout masks, I think.
Freaky Willy, most terrifying mask.
Yeah, I definitely.
I mean, it made the cover.
Like,
Yeah. I chose that. I think that was one of the covers Joe sent to me, and I was like, DVD cover. Because it is actually pretty creepy, in my opinion. So, yeah, he created that himself. He made cardboard teeth for it and everything, like. But all the other masks were pretty much just Amazon. Because, I was making this movie at no money.
Yeah.
The budget for Spider-Man was like $1,500, if that.
Which is like crazy because like this is one of the most like cinematic looking SOV movies.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't even know
like I was impressed with. I would disagree with you on that budget because even the gore and the effects was there, and it wasn't cheesy. It was actual, like you said, practical effects, but it wasn't like real cheesy. I know parts of it you kind of hint around about being cheesy with the movie, and it knew what it was and what made it so much fun, but it was really effort put into those effects that were in there. I loved your camera angles too. That
Joe's an amazing camera.
Yeah, because it felt like like a lot of SOV movies aren't that cinematic, but this one felt almost like it could have been shot on film.
Yeah. And I was inspired by so many shot on video movies. So.
Well, I mean, and then like I don't know if Jason probably didn't know this, but like the tree character, like the tree guy, that was actually voiced. Yeah, that was voiced by Toby Radloff, and he played the Killer Nerd in the Killer Nerd movies, which is like it's two SOV movies from the 90s. So it was kind of like a big deal that he's in that movie, that he's in Spirit Animal, because he's like,
and it was one of the movies he's been in a while.
Yeah,
he was in another movie called I forget the name. But and Toby was so cool about it. He was just like, "All right, give me whatever." And he's really one of the nicest people I ever meet. I love Toby.
Well, isn't he in I haven't watched it yet, but I do own it. Isn't he in American Splendor? Like, isn't that about him, sort of?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to watch that.
Oh, it's great.
I own it. Yeah, I bought it.
Why? Yeah. Toby's just such a good dude. One of my favorite people, and he came to Pittsburgh for the premiere of Spirit Animal, and it was just surreal. And he liked the movie. Um, if that means anything to anyone watching, Toby liked it, even though he just like. So basically, I messaged Toby. I was like, "Hey, would you want to do a few lines for this movie? I'm a huge fan, or whatever." And it was actually Joe's idea, so I would credit him with anything. But and he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, why not?" And I sent him the script, a few lines, whatever. He sent them to me, and we put them in the movie, and it was so cool because I'm a huge, long-time fan. Killer Nerd, for anyone who doesn't know, I rented that for my 7th grade birthday. Yeah, right? And, my friends and I, they were like, pausing during the boob scene in the beginning. Because you've seen it, right, Kobe? Or,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, Jason.
I haven't seen it, no.
Oh, you should. It's so bad.
Yeah, we'll probably cover them on here eventually. Like, I bought the Blu-ray recently.
Bring me on.
Yeah.
Because I was geeked that, Toby talked about Spirit Animal in the commentary.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Like, yeah, that's...
Yeah, Jason, so,
but
the Killer Nerd movies got released on DVD by Troma, like, a long time ago, but they just got re-released on Blu-ray as a double feature by Makeflix, and I guess there's a new commentary track, and mentioned Toby mentions Spirit Animal on the commentary track for the Killer Nerd.
I was so geeked.
Now, that's funny because that came after filming Spiritual Animal, and you had the Toxic Avenger mask in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did. That seems so funny. That was like a
was that
Walmart mask. Walmart rip-off Toxic Avenger mask.
It looked almost like it looked almost more like the Toxic Crusader.
Yeah. It's just so funny it was in there because I was like, let's just have you wear those. Come in with those shark squirt gun. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a question about the sharks?
So that was actually the first scene we shot for the movie. The first scene we shot, and I was filmed. Oh God, I'm sorry, guys. I keep dropping my phone. I shot that first scene, and I kept laughing so hard every time you would have this shark squirt gun, and I had to have someone else film it. I think the actress had to film it instead of me because I kept laughing. I don't even know why. I think it's just the Toxic Avenger mask. And at the end, when she throws against the wall, it's still funny. Stupid mask. But yeah, that was from Walmart, and it was totally a rip-off of Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah, and Jason, I don't know if you noticed, but so throughout the movie, you saw the little numbers flash on the screen. So when I bought the movie initially, so it comes with a scratch and sniff card. So when you get to those scenes, you scratch it and you sniff it, and it's supposed to smell like what's on the screen.
Cute.
Yeah, so I the first 2 times I watched the movie, the card worked, but then the third and fourth time, the card doesn't smell like anything anymore.
That's awesome, because I was that was a question I was going to bring up, is about the numbers. And it's kind of connected to the kill.
Yeah, because in the first scene you have famous actor Tom Gross.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have Tom Gross introduce it.
But yeah, I've been out of those for a while. I need to order some more, but
Yeah, they work. The first it worked like the first two times I watched it. The scratch and sniff card worked fine, but then like on like third and fourth viewing, like the scents just aren't there anymore.
yeah.
There's nothing
But yeah,
wrong
we
with it.
wanted a gimmick. I wanted a
Yeah.
gimmick. I love gimmicks.
Yeah, for sure. There wasn't nothing wrong with those cards, Kody. It was your sinuses. You need to drink more of the Fireball to open up your sinuses.
Yeah, no, Fireball does clear out your sinuses.
Good to know.
Yeah, like if you buy, like the little like shot bottles where you can buy like a 10-pack. If you drink like one or two of those, yeah, if you drink one or two of those, it'll clear your sinuses out like right away.
Good to know.
Did you, Madeline, did you intend on, so again, you had the sharks, but when she was having nightmares about her ex and the sharks was in the dream, a shark in a dream has a different meaning to it than a spiritual animal definition of a shark. And the shark in a dream, it means a warning of danger ahead. I didn't know if you put that in there particularly because it is her, crazy abusive boyfriend. So there is danger and there is, a theme of warning there. And it was just connected to the dream with him, with her.
Wait. What shark is actually in her dream?
I think it's the stuffed shark.
She's in the back. Well, yeah, but she's asleep with Stuffed Shark Brutus, who is right next to me. But in her actual dream, while she is... Sorry, I'm trying to think about your question. Maybe way too much.
It was more toward the beginning, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Because... Well, she's in the car. She has her dream of an abusive ex-boyfriend. And Brutus, my shark, is not in any of those scenes. But later on, I think before she goes and investigates outside, she's with Brutus and the bad. Brutus just kind of shows up whenever, because it's Brutus. But, there was no real, there's no real rhyme or reason. We just kind of put Brutus wherever.
So that was a happy accident. That's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I really, I keep dropping my. So sorry. Yeah, I really wanted the whole abusive thing to mean something,
Yeah, you know what's
have a backstory for her character.
I don't want to get too much into it, but I will say the first time I watched this movie was a month after I went through a breakup with somebody that was like mentally abusing me. They never physically abused me, but they did mentally abuse me, and I actually watched this movie like a month after. And like, I kind of connected with that angle a little bit.
My lead actress, Jennifer Louise, she was incredible. She's incredible. And I know it's a hard subject.
Yeah.
But the whole, ex-boyfriend thing, who was played by the incredible, God, I can't even think of his name right now.
Oh yeah,
his name's Adam,
yeah, he was good.
Great, he was great. those two were great on screen together.
Oh, also, I noticed there's two moments in the movie where there's two different lines that he says that are throwbacks to The Room, and I really appreciated the Room references.
Of course, Lucy, you're tearing me apart.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, honestly, when I heard the script, I wasn't even thinking about that with Lisa, and they were like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." And I was like, "Oh, of course we'll do that."
Yeah, when he says, Lisa, you're tearing me apart. And then also, when he picks up the flowers and he says, anything for my princess, that's also a reference to The Room.
I feel like you're the only person about that.
Yeah, I mean, I love The Room. Like, I've seen The Room at least, 5 or 6 times.
It's such a great movie. Jason, have you seen The Room?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, we had a lot of references to stuff like that, and yeah, it was fun.
Some references to. It seemed like you were paying some homage to Chainsaw Massacre when she wakes up tied up in the chair. There's a sporadic eye movement, kind of like back in the '74 Chainsaw.
Yeah, we had some Chainsaw.
The vines reminded me of Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah, Evil Dead.
Disgusting.
There were a lot of references.
The disgusting diarrhea death.
Oh.
Horrendously. Yes, great scene. But that reminded me of the remake of I Spit on Your Grave. She takes a shotgun at the dude's ass, the sheriff. So I was just like, wow. But yours was like way more grisly.
Oh yeah, the stick death is pretty gruesome.
So my death with the stick.
Yeah.
That was something Holocaust thing. I was like, oh yeah, I want to be, ass through the mouth, whatever, like Cannibal Holocaust. And when we shot it, it just seemed more like a Todd Sheets reference than Cannibal Holocaust, which is fine because I'm a huge Todd. I feel like guys like Todd Sheets.
Yeah.
He always had stabbed through the ass. So, but yeah, that was supposed to be a Cannibal Holocaust type thing.
I still need to watch Cannibal Holocaust. I've never seen that.
I haven't seen
it
either.
Man, you gotta watch it. Have you seen it? Guys, it's one of the best movies you're ever gonna see.
Yeah, I definitely think the stick death scene might be the grossest death scene.
Wait, am I back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. No, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's probably the most gruesome death scene. Like that's the one that kind of I actually kind of cringed watching it the first time. Like I was like, oh.
I did cringe.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
It made me cringe.
My favorite death scene is still Timmy's with the straw.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of Timmy, Keith, how do you say his last name?
Monahan.
Oh yeah, Keith Monahan is definitely a character.
So, funny. Keith Monahan is Keith Monahan.
Yeah.
I love that guy. I hope he hears this, and I hope he knows that I love him to death. But he is Keith Monahan. He never read the script. Never. Like, yeah, man, I got you. Like, whatever. Like, he's
before we hopped on,
yeah.
I had Jason watch the blooper reel.
Okay, Jason, what did you think of the him trying to say
Oh my god,
that's killer's name?
That cracks me up.
Toby.
Every time I watch the movie, I watch the blooper reel afterwards, just because like Keith is hilarious in that blooper reel.
It's so funny.
Like,
I love the guy.
you guys kept telling him how to say it, and he would still manage to say it wrong.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Keith is one of the best people, but man, you cannot say Robnik Tommy.
No.
Robnik Tommy.
And I think in the final edit, he still says it wrong.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, because
But it was the best.
I think in the final edit, he says Arav Nicaromi or something. Arav Nicaroni.
Yeah. And it was like the closest we could get, and like no one noticed this. But
Yeah.
He's some fun.
So Timmy, he dies, and like that character is in like everything you do, and he always dies. So is it all like different universes? I guess is it like a multiverse of Timmys?
Yeah, it's kind of like Kenny from South Park.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I always say. He'll just show up no matter what happens.
So it's like the next day
Hey,
Timmy's
just
alive again.
Yeah. So I just think it's funny because he's such a good character, and I love Keith. He's a good friend. I love the guy, but he is Timmy.
I like.
If I want him in.
I like when he carves his name into the tree. He says Timmo, Timmy.
Because he can't. Oh. And it was so funny. We had so much fun with the character. Like you can't get rid of him.
Because he's also he's also in Trash Removal. That character, Keith plays Timmy in that, and then Keith's gonna play Timmy in Bathtub Shark Attack, right?
Yes, same character. And I just think it's funny. I think it's funny to bring back your character and just do whatever. I don't know. He's a funny guy. So, have you ever watched BoJack Horseman?
I've not seen it. It's something I want to watch, but I don't have any. Where I live like so far out, like in the middle of nowhere, that my internet's not good enough to really stream TV shows.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I wish they would put the whole series out on disc, but I think they only put a few. They only put like a few seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one character from that show, Mr. Peanut Butter. So anyone who's listening, he is my Mr. Peanut Butter, because there's an episode where they have him show up and he just talks all the wrong things, and they're just like, "Oh, you're perfect. You don't need any training, whatever." Like, that is Keith Monahan. He does not need any training. He has it.
Is Mr. Peanut Butter the dog?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Keith has it. He is hilarious. You don't even need to give him much direction. You just say, "Hey, go here, go there." And he's an honestly good dude, so. Love the guy. He gets on my nerves. Keith, I love you, buddy, but oh my God.
And then another standout thing about the movie, I think, is Matt Cannon's score. Like,
oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And his score. So, what I told him I wanted, like during the chase scene near the end, when you hear that, like, whatever, I can't do it. I told him I wanted like a whale sound, because I had heard whale sounds before and it's kind of creepy, and I think that was his wife, Janelle Cannon, making these sounds, and he put it in the score. And I was like,
Oh.
this is fucking... Yeah. So whenever you, like, see, our actress Jen, like, covering her eyes, freaking out, and you hear... Yeah, that's like that's like the whale sounds. And it's so good. He did amazing.
I actually I have another movie that he did the score for, but I haven't watched it yet. It's called like Force of Fear.
My God, dude, you need to watch
I
that
know.
next.
I know.
Bring me back on your...
I have that too.
So
I just haven't watched it yet.
the funny thing is, man, like, I didn't think I would like Forced to Fear that much, even though I like everyone involved. Like, Zane's a good friend. Everyone involved is a good friend. And when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I need to watch that soon. Maybe I'll watch it
His
tonight.
score, yeah, you should. It's so good. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. It's so good. His score, the choreography, because I don't like action movies that much. Like, I like some, obviously, but
Yeah.
like that movie just,
And
when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, let's go.
didn't like Scream Time put that out?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't remember who put that out. I think Scream Time put that out.
Well, the barn. Wait, who put out the barn? I can't even think right now. Give me 1 second. Justin.
Your fans that Spirit Animal T-shirt. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have the Spirit Animal T-shirt on.
Do you? I was gonna put mine on. I have a Video Violence shirt on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, Scream Team releasing. They put it out.
Yeah, Scream everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Justin. Who put out the barn?
Yeah, and
They put it out.
Scream Team, they put out a movie called like Bone Jangles or...
Yeah, I like Bojangles.
I have that also, and I haven't watched it either. I need to watch that and Forced to Fear, but I know I know Vinegar Syndrome recently put out a Bone Jangles like Blu-ray through one of their partner labels. I wonder if
did they?
Yeah, I wonder if they'll put Forced to Fear out too.
That'd be awesome. Forced to Fear is so good.
Yeah, I definitely need to. I definitely need to watch both of those.
Watch Forced to Fear, because again, I did not think I would love it as much as I did. But I remember when I watched it, I was like, "Holy fuck, this is amazing!"
Yeah, and knowing that Matt Cannon did the score for that one too, I bet it'll be pretty cool.
Incredible. He's incredible. Everything he does. Matt Cannon's my boy. Like, he's a good friend. He's a great guy. Anything he does, pick it up.
Yeah, and like his score for Spirit Animal is pretty good. Like, it definitely adds to like the atmosphere.
And I don't know if you guys know this. He did the score in 7 days.
Oh wow!
Because it was like a miscommunication, and I wanted the score by a certain day, and he was finishing up actually the Force Fear score, and he was finishing up that, and I was like, well, we have our premiere coming up, whatever. He did that score in 7 days, sent it to me literally.
Wow.
The day of air. And and it was my fault that some of the stuff was not synced up right because we changed some stuff and we had him fix it later, but he's incredible. Matt Cannon, I can't recommend him enough. If you ever in either.
Thing like it feels like this could have been released in the 90s. Like this feels like SO like at the peak of
That's,
the yeah, it feels like it's at the like sort of like the peak of the SOV heyday. Like it's sort of how this movie feels.
yeah, thank you. Because that's what we were going for. Because even if you get the DVD, you get uh, Dingo Pizza
Yeah. The ad at the
paper, and
beginning.
it expires 1994 or whatever. Because it's, yeah, I like to put that type of stuff.
And then I also noticed the Dingo Pizza ad was later used in one of Tony Masiello's movies.
Yeah. He asked me if I could use it, and he was like, oh, yeah, sure. And actually, spoiler alert, it might show up in one of Sean Donahue's upcoming movies.
Oh wow. I haven't
And
seen
I love Sean.
I haven't seen many of Sean's movies yet, but I have seen I've seen Cannibal Claus, and
I love Ken.
I bought that documentary he did, Blood, Guts, and Sunshine. I bought that.
Oh, it's great, yeah. Sean's a great filmmaker, and he's a great dude. So I was like happy to have him involved because I've been a fan of his for years.
Was he involved? He was involved in
But
Spirit
yeah.
Animal a little bit.
No, not really. We've just after Spirit Animal was made, like it played in Tampa, and I went to Tampa Bay Screams, and I finally got to meet him for the first time because, again, I've been a fan of his for years. So we kind of became friends and stuff, and he's got Dingo Pizza commercial coming up in the next movie.
Oh, the rise
He
of
lives.
Rise of the Illuminati
right.
hotties.
So that's super cool. And, like, honestly, that just means the world to me. Because, again, I've been a fan of the guy for a long time. My friend and I watched Death Escort Service for the first time on Christmas Eve. That's why it's always a Christmas movie to me. And we were both like, "Oh my god, I can't believe."
I've not watched those yet. There's like 3 of those, isn't there?
Yep, they're great. Yeah, tell Jason over there to watch them.
Yeah, I might have to buy all 3 of those.
You should, yeah. They're worth it. They're great. But yeah, Sean's been a big inspiration. Like, it's just, man, it's so cool to meet heroes you have.
Yeah.
And have be supportive of your work. Even yourself, like, it's so cool to be on this podcast.
Yeah. Actually, you're the first director that's on the podcast so far.
That's cool. But if you guys have any other questions, because obviously I'm a little buzzed, Matt,
oh yeah,
to you.
I'm kind of getting there too. I'm just trying to hide how drunk I am right now. I'm pretty drunk.
Well, ask me, because we're here to talk about Spirit Animal, and I feel like all I've been talking is about other shit.
Yeah, we have talked about a lot of other stuff too.
I don't know how long your podcast go, but talk to me about spirit animal. Ask me questions. Let's go. Anything.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have anything else in your notes, Jason?
No, I really, touched base on everything that I thought was spectacular about it. Um, just being shot on video, like you said, the cinematic quality of it was really good. Even the lighting, because you're working with a
Yeah.
budget, in V.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
lighting was great. It
we
didn't
shot
cast
most of the
shadow.
movie in the woods. Most of the lighting was the fucking sun.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy. That
everything we shot inside was just regular lighting. We did not have any real lighting for the movie.
That's
And that's how
wild.
you shoot a movie. Because actually, I've heard people talk about shooting, SLV movies like a feature, and they say how the lighting ruins it. So
Oh wow. So
all the
basically,
lighting was,
with SOV, you kind of want to go with as natural lighting as possible, and
yeah,
because even like the nighttime shots looked pretty good.
yeah.
yeah,
We did
yeah.
some night for day, but in general, like whenever Jen is, Lisa's out looking, whatever,
And she sees the
and
mask.
yeah, you can totally tell when she picks the mask up at her, but I mean, if you
Yeah,
watch it again, I guess, but you can't tell maybe the first one.
Yeah, I basically watch Spirit Animal like every New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. It's like the first movie of the year. I always
That means you have no idea.
Now we know what's
'Cause-
wrong with him.
What?
I said, now we know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, I mean, and it was written as a New Year's movie, which is cool because it wasn't added on later on. I wanted it to be a New Year's movie. And
Well, there's not very many New Year slasher movies. There's really not very many.
I adore New Year's Evil. That's
Yeah.
my favorite. It's good, but New Year's Evil is the main one. And whenever people talk about this one, it means the world.
Because so with New Year's slashers, there's really only like what Terror Train, New Year's Evil, and like Bloody New Year. That's basically it. There's only like 3 before
Furious, even unofficial New Year's movie.
yeah, before Spirit Animal. That was the only 3 really.
Yeah. So,
But again,
and
the
Ghostbusters
underlying-
too.
It's kind of like the environment theme, Kody. And it wasn't like this projected New Year's Eve slasher movie. It was like this underlining, layers of blankets there, and it's like the underground or the underneath sheet being a New Year's Eve type slasher, but it wasn't just like in your face about it.
Yeah.
Again, like the environment. That's what I loved. It you
Yeah.
did, Madeline, was you did it very subtly, and it melded well. And,
Thank you.
and then the night shots he was talking about looked great on the with the lighting. I thought we did Silent Night, Bloody Night. He did the series Kody did on his podcast, and some of the scenes in there, I felt was less quality. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the movie makers of that, but yours looked like way more professional, and the professional sense is not really their technique or really poking or criticizing someone's art form or direction, but again, it was very clear.
Yeah. Well, I got a great cinematographer. And it is funny because we, again, shot this movie all on video.
Yeah.
So, the same camcorder your grandma had, probably.
Yeah. I think I might actually have an SOV camera somewhere around. It's like my mom and dad's old camera from the 90s. I think we still have that.
Yeah, That's exactly what we wanted to use.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of SOV movies. So
Yeah, I know Jason
and I
hasn't really watched a lot of SOV, but if he keeps like doing this podcast, he's probably going to end up seeing a lot. Like we'll do a lot of SOV on here.
because
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
think whenever I was wanting to make a movie, I was like, well, we could shoot on this like somewhat okay digital video, or we can shoot it on video like the Polonia brothers did, and that's what I wanted to do.
I think
That was great because that added that originality texture to it. I believe, just like you get an HD
Thank you.
music, nice and crisp. You listen to the same thing on a record, sounds great, but it's got that. You can hear that it's an actual record, and it adds some flavor to it. And I think you actually doing that actually added. It wasn't grainy, but it added some flavor to it, definitely.
yeah, I think I honestly think when a lot of like indie, like a lot of the newer indie films that are shot on digital kind of makes things look cheaper in my opinion. And like I guess
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something weird about when indie filmmakers try to use digital. It doesn't quite look as good as it could, I guess. Like they should try to film it on like SOV or like 16 millimeter or something. Like I feel like that's how indie films should be made.
I feel like whenever I wanted to do a film, I was like, well, we could either do it on, cheap digital film, or we could do it on, like, the lowest quality. There's no in between. And I was like, let's do lowest quality. So we shot it out of VHS, and it looks like the VHS you would rent from the video store. I mean, that's what I hope, anyway. From the video store in the back of the day. It looks like the random movie you'd rent and bring home and have fun with, and that's what you wanted. It's not that I have a problem with digital, but I need a good enough digital camera.
Yeah.
Want to make it look good enough.
Otherwise, I've just always liked. I've always liked the look of like. I've always liked the look of SOV 16 millimeter and 35 millimeter like way more than I do digital. Like digital movies don't look quite right to me like ever.
They look too crisp.
Yeah.
Because I remember whenever I watched, and this is going way back, Jack Frost 2 from Jack Frost 1. I thought, oh wow, this looks too something. And I was too young to even understand.
But you could still tell even as a kid, like visually it didn't quite look right.
Yeah, and I love Jack Frost 2 and 1 for that matter, but you could tell the difference.
Well, I've noticed that with a lot of like newer movies too, though, like The Matrix Resurrections doesn't look as good as the original trilogy.
Because they probably shot it on digital.
Yeah. Because like
I know the same thing when I watched Return to Nukem High.
Yeah.
From, Poultry. Like, oh my god. And I wish I liked Return to Nukem High 1 and 2, but they were...
Yeah, like, I think Poultrygeist was like the last like really great sort of trauma movie.
I agree. And I saw that in a theater. But
Oh, wow.
Premiere in New York City.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. I'm so glad I got.
I honestly credit Tromeo and Juliet, Terror Firmer, and Poultrygeist as like the three movies that really got me interested in movies to begin with.
Yeah. Mine would be Toxic Avenger, Killer Nerd, and I don't know the other one, but those two.
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, the original?
The original, yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's my favorite.
I think the Toxic Avenger 1 and 4 are like the best two in that series.
I agree. 4 is fantastic.
Yeah, I remember the first time I watched the Toxic Avenger 4, like I was just blown away.
Yeah, because it's so messed up, but it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 3 was Toxic Avenger, Surf Nazis Must Die, and then like Garbage Pail Kids, the movie,
Oh,
which has no
I
relation.
actually,
When I was a kid, I
My-
thought it did. I thought it was the same.
my teacher in film school, he produced the Surf Nazis Must Die.
oh wow.
Robert Tinnell.
Yeah, I've seen
So,
I've seen his name on a few
I-
movies.
Yeah, he recently did a really good Christmas movie, Feast of Seven Fishes. But he also did Frankenstein and Me and Airspeed, which is awful but wonderful.
Yeah, Frankenstein
He's
and Frankenstein and Me is like a hard movie to find though, I think.
Yeah, you'd have to find a bootlegger.
Yeah, I think there's like a decent YouTube like upload of it though. Somewhere out there.
Yeah. Because I have a copy from a friend bootlegger. Sorry, Rob, but I buy it from you. But yeah, my friend and I, we still gotta watch it. 'Cause I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen a lot of his stuff. Believe is another movie he's done.
Oh, I actually have Believe literally like right here.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, I have a DVD of it. You can't
That's
really
awesome.
Yeah, you can't really see it that good. There it is.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I have a
It's
copy.
also Rum making it blurry.
It's not that bad. I saw it on Showtime back in the day. Before I even knew who Bob was, but Bob's a good dude, and yeah. It's cool. You know, to be taught by people who have done so much stuff. I love Surf Nazis. I get that.
Yeah, Surf Nazis Must Die is kind of one of the cooler ones that Trauma kind of was involved in.
Trauma used to be great back in the day, but I don't follow them as much anymore.
Yes, Spirit Animal definitely felt like it was inspired by Trauma too.
Oh, it definitely was. Because, again, huge Trauma fan back in the day, so...
I mean, like...
It was inspired by...
Like
Trauma,
Redneck Zombies.
Yeah, Redneck Zombies, Cannibal Campout, video violence, all that stuff.
Some of the over-the-top seriousness, like Fortress of America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fortress of... It's so over the top, and, you know, even, like, Friday the 13th, like, we were supposed to originally have a Crazy Ralph character type named Crazy Mark, but that didn't work out, and I wish it still did, but you know. So,
Oh yeah,
any of those hold up.
I will say that the ending of Spirit Animal reminds me of like Friday the 13th or Carrie.
Carrie was what we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of both of those
Yeah,
movies.
Thank you. She had that yellow dress on and going to the grave, and it was very inspired by Carrie.
And then
Yeah, when I commented on the eerie score at that point toward the end, that reminded me of Friday the 13th.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Alice chops off
It's
Voorhees' head, and she's going to the canoe, and it played kind of that little like melody. It sets you up for the jump scare.
Yeah, Friday the 13th was a big inspiration as well.
Yeah, because that the final scene of Spirit Animal really feels like the scene where like the kid Jason jumps up out of the water, and it feels like the end of Carrie when she like comes out of the grave.
Yeah. Carrie was more it, but
Yeah.
also Friday the 13th.
Because I think they said the ending of Friday the 13th was inspired by the ending of Carrie.
Makes sense. Because the end of Carrie, I love Carrie.
Yeah.
The ending of
Like, funny enough, it wasn't my idea for the ending. My original ending was just to have it end. And my cinematographer, everything, Extra Joe, he was like, oh, hey, let's do the scene where, we get, Jennifer Louise's her dog, Roxy Balboa. Love Roxy. Best dog ever. That's Jennifer's dog, in case you guys didn't know.
Yeah,
but,
Jason, the dog at the end of the movie her name's Roxy Balboa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it in the
and that's
credits.
our lead actress, Jennifer's dog. So we were like, well, Joe was like, let's get her in the movie. Let's have this happen, that happen. And actually, that scene turned out to be my favorite scene in the entire movie, and it wasn't even my idea. So my favorite scene in the movie is whenever Roxy gets pulled under by her stunt double, Apollo Creed, and kicked you into the credits. And yeah, it's hilarious and it's fun, and it could give a good idea for a sequel.
And so,
which hopefully will one
and
day.
so, and also, so Jason, this is the first movie released by Madeline's label, Necroshark Films. The second movie actually was directed by Joseph Ruscio, like the guy who played Ralph and was the cinematographer, the editor, special effects guy. Like, he directed a movie, Beyond Dark Dreams, and we will cover that. We're gonna cover that soon too. Like, that one's really good. And Joseph actually directed that. And
Joe did everything.
Yeah.
And
it's like a really creative anthology film. Like, it's one of the more creative anthology films I've seen. Like, it's just really, the visuals are really weird and out there. It's basically an art house film.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll cover that.
Really...
Yeah, we'll cover that soon too. Probably within the next couple of episodes.
Awesome.
And then the third movie you're gonna put out under Necroshark is Bathtub Shark Attack, which I actually produced it. Like, I'm a producer on it. Me and so basically, my friend Matt Festel makes indie movies.
Yeah.
And I convinced him. I'm actually the one that convinced him to watch Spirit Animal. Like, I convinced him to buy it. He bought it. He watched it. He really liked it. And when you put out the Indiegogo for Bathtub Shark Attack, I told him I was thinking about producing it. He said, "Well, let's just both do it." So me and him both jumped on that, and we were the first two to buy the associate producer credit. Like, we were the first two people to jump on that credit.
That's so cool. Yeah, Matthew Vessel's super cool dude. Fan of his work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've been friends with him for almost 3 years now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I think you'll enjoy our finished product, which hopefully we'll have up by April, May.
Yeah. Yeah, so
we'll do it sooner, but we're not wanting to rush it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely cover Bathtub Shark Attack also after it comes out.
Yeah.
And then so in the future, are you considering doing a sequel to Spirit Animal?
Maybe. We'll see. We have some ideas.
Yeah.
A lot of ideas. I thought about having a panda.
What's scary about doing a sequel is you don't want to ruin what's already been done.
Yeah. We with Spirit Animal, you guys have seen it, so you know. We opened up a lot of ideas for a sequel
Yeah.
with, people being reincarnated or reborn as different animals or humans, whatever. So there's a lot we could do with it,
You
but
could there's definitely a lot of different directions you could spin from it to do a sequel. Like you could even do like the whole like
so,
you could do like the whole Jason Lives thing and have like a Rav come back. Like there's a bunch of
yeah,
different things you could do. So I bet it would be hard to try to plan out a sequel for this.
yeah. I
Yeah.
the story just needs to be right,
Yeah.
and I'll make it. But I have so
The
many other ideas and everything I want to do as well.
For
So
like original stories instead of a sequel.
yeah, yeah. But I think eventually I'd like to do a Spirit Animal sequel.
Or
I
like
think it'll.
or at least
I always
like a
planned out.
spiritual successor at least.
Yeah, I had it planned out as a trilogy, and
Oh.
you know, it's hard to get the talent, whatever, right.
maybe it could be its
But
own spin-off movies or something like Suspiria,
yeah,
Inferno, and or Tears.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
like a
Usual
thematic
that they've looked
trilogy.
for.
Like more like a thematic
yeah,
trilogy.
yeah. Something will happen.
But yeah,
But yeah, I have a lot of ideas.
and then one other thing that I thought was interesting was like you filmed that teaser for Bathtub Shark Attack like years ago, and it's even like at the beginning of Spirit Animal, even though that wasn't really a feature length film I really yet.
Yeah. Well, when I wrote Bathtub Shark Attack, I wrote it as like a short film, like 20 minutes,
Oh,
20
okay.
pages. And I really wanted to do it, and all my actors dropped out, and it didn't happen. So I was like, let's just do this feature. Because, that's a good idea. People drop out of a short film, why not to a feature? Stupid, but it worked out. And so we made Spirit Animal, and we decided to do a newer, because it wasn't my original teaser, but we did a newer teaser for it, and here we are making it. So, Bathtub's been a part of my life since 2018 or so,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And here we are finishing it. And people are excited for it, because I want to do a shark movie for it.
That's awesome. You resurrected it from just
Yeah.
a little short you threw in.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. You're definitely a great storyteller,
thank you.
Madeline.
I think that's my strongest point, is telling stories.
Yeah, definitely. Just like the end, spirit animal, that pacing was great because it kind of set. Immediately, you think there's going to be this jump scare, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, she's playing with her dog," and then it just totally took you away from it, and then bam, and it was just like that was a good role.
Thank you. And Roxy, the dog, almost bit me because I had like that, it was like a bear type of
Oh
mitten
yeah.
on her. Yeah. She tried to bite me. I was like, oh, no, no, no. So, but love Roxy and love Jen, who is our lead actress. She was amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to. I want to build the spirit animal world more
Yeah.
in the future. There's a lot you can do with it. I think it's a cool story. Yeah,
Definitely.
thank you. But yeah, so many ideas. It's just hard to get them all down on paper. So
Well, The pleasure was all mine meeting you, Madeline. It was a great film to sit and watch, and then hearing your sides of it, because I would.
Oh. Jason's gone.
Yeah, lost.
Oh no. He disappeared.
I see that.
Yeah, I think we're kind of wrapping up though anyways, cuz I feel like we've pretty much said most of what we can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess thank you guys for watching, and thank you Madeline for being on. Like Spirit Animals definitely. Yeah, Spirit Animals definitely one of the. I think it's one of the like first SOV movies I watched, but it's also like I think one of the better SOV movies.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
And then like anytime I announce an episode and you want to be a guest, you can like hop on though. Like if I announce like a SOV movie you really like or something.
Yeah, I'll always hop on for SOV because I love SOV. I grew up with that, and yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for this episode. So thanks again for everybody watching, and we hope you enjoyed the podcast.
Thank you for having me.